Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen and ladies, ladies and gents, it has been a long, long, long time. And I just want to let y'all know that the change and the time for change has come. Now, how can I prove that a change has come? Come on now, answer me the question. How can I prove that a change has come? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to prove it one way, because only one way it can be proved. A long time coming, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to see something. Okay? Pay attention to that. Because I went to my brother and I said, brother, I need y'all to help me, please. And you know what they kept doing? They kept knocking me back down on my knees. I said, but here, brother, Supreme Court, my brothers, I need y'all's help. And they just kept knocking me back down on my knees. So, ladies and gentlemen, they finally came and said, now is the time for y'all to wake up. Okay, so let me tell y'all what they had to say. They say, we must interpret the act as written. Ladies and gentlemen, this ain't just the act of arbitration. No. This is every act. They must interpret it as it is written. No other way. Because statutory interpretation does not require for any other interpretation. It's called the general principles of statutory interpretation. General fundamental principles. Got to remember that. The general has fundamental principles. Okay? Now, it says, and the act, in turn, requires that we interpret the contract as written. Wait a minute. Do you understand that, y'all? Pay attention. It ain't how they want to interpret it. No. The act says that they must interpret the contract as written. This particular act, the Arbitration Act, says the contract says this. That's the way it's supposed to be interpreted. Now, if you have something in the contract that's an impossibility, to ask somebody to do something that can't be done, that's called an invalid clause. Okay? That gives it invalidity. But however, when the parties to a contract delegate the understanding as to who gets to determine any questions concerning arbitration, that's what this arbitrability question thing is. It says if they delegate it to only an arbitrator, it says the court may not override the contract. In other words, the court cannot say we gonna do it. The court must adhere to the wishes of the parties. That's what they're saying, y'all. So if your contract says arbitration, they got to go to arbitration. Now, y'all hold on, because I'm about to show y'all how a change is about to come, and how if it didn't get started anyplace else, then you would believe it. But because it got started with this man, we're going to have a lot of naysayers, a lot of haters, a lot of, he made my candy. Okay, and we don't care. Now, pay attention. It says, in those circumstances where the arbitration clause delegates the questions referring to arbitration to an arbitrator, it says a court possesses no power to decide the arbitration issue. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's completely non-judicial. This is your paragraph right here. It's non-judicial. They don't have no say-so. Everybody was trying to figure out, you heard me saying, we're trying to figure out how to keep it out of the court. I've been saying this for more than 30 years. That's right. For 30 years I've been saying this. And we found our way. Now, it wasn't easy. It was not easy. I had to praise to my Father, my God, my Sovereign, my King, my Lord, my Savior, Jehovah. And I recognized that I had to do that in the name of that son of his, my brother, who I have the greatest respect in all existence. And if I did not tell all of you that it was only by means of my asking specifically, told you, Proverbs, the second chapter, verse 1 through 7. Keep asking, keep seeking, keep knocking. That's basically what it says. But I know Matthew says the same thing. Keep asking, keep seeking, keep knocking. But it guarantees that you'll get it. So let me show you how y'all gonna get it. True. Pay attention. That is, this right here is true, even if the court thinks that the argument that the arbitration agreement applies to is in a particular dispute is wholly groundless. Doesn't matter what the court thinks. Did you understand? Did you pay attention, y'all? It says this is true even if the court thinks. So it says it doesn't matter what the court thinks. Pay attention to what they telling y'all. It don't matter what the court can blah, 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 blah. Sorry, the Supreme Court says it don't matter what you think. Now wait, hold on. Pay attention about the conclusion. See, they came to a fact. What's the fact? That they must interpret the act as written. Okay? Well, the act says when a party delegates the arbitrability question to an arbitrator, the courts cannot override it. Okay? They can't override the contract. They must interpret the contract as written. Just as simple. Okay, pay attention. That conclusion follows not only from the text of the act, but also from precedent. Precedent? Man, I use precedent, and my gums be hurting. That's not the precedent they talking about. I don't think that's the precedent they talking about. I think they talking about a different precedent. I mean, if you happen to use precedent on your teeth and gums to make sure them things ain't so after you put them things back in your mouth, soak them in water, okay? Put some Epsom salt in there and soak them in water so you can clean them things. Quit just putting your hand in that water and popping them in your mouth. Man, the water got all kind of bacteria. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. We're talking about peppermint patties, okay? So it says that the conclusion follows not only from the text of the act, but also from peppermint. Okay, I don't know why they introducing peppermint to people, because peppermint to me is kind of nasty. If you take too much of it, I mean, can you get kind of sick of that stuff? You know what I'm saying? Well, anyway, we're gonna continue, okay? Now we, my brothers, the brothers that I went to and said, help me please, they kept knocking me back down on my knees. They said, we have held that a court may not rule on the potential merits underlying a claim that is assigned by contract to an arbitrator, even if it appears to the court to be frivolous. So they can't even make a determination if it's frivolous. So those of you who were sitting up there trying to talk about my boy Bradley Christopher Stark, you didn't know what you were talking about, sitting up there talking out of the side of your neck and the back of your anus. The back of their anus? The back of their anus. What's the back of the anus look like? Well, you got to get a microscope and go on inside that thing, do a cavity search, and you put a little camera on the end of it. Now you see what the back of it look like, because the front of it ain't pretty, but the back of it sure ain't pretty. Okay, anyway, a court has no business. They have no business weighing on the merits of the grievance, because the agreement is to submit all grievances to arbitration, not merely those which the court deem are meritorious, that have merit. Ladies and gentlemen, the Supreme Court said they have no jurisdiction. Pay attention. The Supreme Court is saying not even them, the Supreme Court has jurisdiction. So what did we do? Ladies and gentlemen, we have successfully taking this out of the hands of the court. Now, some of you guys at the beginning, this is the beginning of all of this. Get in on the ground flow. Got to get in when the getting in is good. By the way, short little plug. Satcom911.com has been down for a week. There was a configuration issue. This is the second time we've gone through this, but this time the configuration issue is because they were uploading the site and we were uploading at the same time. And so the files got discombobulated and combobulated and dismembered and all that other stuff. So they are going to take the time to upload the site on Monday. Today is the 1st of May. March, excuse me, March. Today is the 1st of March. By the 4th of March, the site will be fully operational. You'll be able to get to the web pages. So please stop bombarding SATCOM with notices thinking that the government took it down. Now, we do know that somebody interfered with it because they were going through their records. We were going through ours. Somebody interfered with our site. So we can't say who it was. Can't not say who it was because we can't prove anything. We just know that at this pivotal moment. Now, for the time being, if you need to get the contracts and the other forms associated with the case, I forgot to put the other documents up. I'll put those up later because I just proofread those, and so I'll get those up tonight. We're going to put those on the SAA website. That website is working. It's functional. You can go there. Okay? All right. Let's continue, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, let me show you what we've done essentially. We know that an individual does not need a license to travel. We know that the right to travel is an essential constitutional right, but the courts have taken that away from us through the same means that Congress took it away from us, through these contracts, through these statutes. Ladies and gentlemen, what we have done is we've said, all right, fine. Since the government operates what the so-called corporate offer to contract, then we will contract with them. We created a contract that is reasonable, that is doable, that is workable, but also works as a trust as well as a wonderful estoppel. Now people say, well, how are you going to enforce it? You enforce it through arbitration. Well, what if they don't confirm your arbitration award? Then you got to go back and reread the Arbitration Act. Because as long as the elements are not present for vacating an arbitration award, they must, not should, must confirm the arbitration award. Ladies and gentlemen, do yourself and everyone a favor. Keep your figures within reason. I don't care if there's no money. A reasonable person doesn't know that there's no money. The common person doesn't know that there's no money. So keep the figures reasonable. I'm going to make this, now you see you got that creature sitting in the middle of the screen? We're going to make this a little bit bigger. Okay? So those of y'all who want to write it down, because I'll put it at the bottom of the video if I remember. Now we got to get on to my next song. You know what? That was Benny King. And he gonna be singing Stand By Me. Oh no, this is Billy Paul. The real Billy Paul, not that other Billy Paul junk. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want me and Mrs. Jones. Hold on. Hold on, Billy. That's what I'm looking for. This is a Gladys Knight song. We got on and on, on and on. Oh, we got to groove it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know this song, we're going to let y'all know this song. It's by Gladys Knight and the Pips. And I just got to let y'all know how much I loves this song. Now, we got to do Gladys. Gladys Knight and the Pips. On and on. Sorry, that song just came in my mind. I would love to play this, because this is on Soul Train. Wait, no, we're going to do Soul Train. Come on now. We're going to play ourselves some Soul Train. Forget that. We're going to play ourselves some Soul Train. Come on, Don Cornelius and the Pips. Sorry, y'all. I got to give my on and on. On, you know what I'm saying? Now, because many of y'all can't get with this, and I feel so sorry y'all don't understand this song. Making her realize, because she's going to be talking about on and on. And ladies and gentlemen, that's where we going. On and on. because we got to finish telling y'all how y'all got this thing on lockdown now. Like I told you guys in the video we did earlier today, ain't nobody charged nobody for none of this. We could have sat up here and created a company and this is all it did. And it would have been first on the scene and nobody could have competed with it because it would have been its own beast. Okay? But that ain't us. We either in this together or we're not in this at all. Okay? This involved everybody. This didn't involve just one person or two persons. Ladies and gentlemen, they've been sitting up here doing this to everybody. And half the people out there are stuck in this environment and don't know what's going on. Half of the people out there are stuck in this environment and think that what they're seeing is real. Because for some reason, nobody told them. Nobody told them what to expect, how to expect it, why to expect it. So then we came. We have people who are in jail for nothing. Now, when I say for nothing, yeah, they may have done something wrong, but what they're in jail for is not what they are supposed to be in jail for. They're in jail because some little stupid prosecutor just told the jury something and then brought forth some evidence that wasn't even evidence and made the jury believe that that was evidence against the person when it wasn't. This is not about us against some stupid system. No, because see, you can't fight the system. The system is too powerful. So guess what? We're not trying to fight the system. The system is its own beast. It's going to do whatever it do. Okay? We're not here to fight the system. All we're here to do is to make sure that they play fair. So we have a fair contract that we create. Now, what does the contract do? The contract basically says, hey guys, I'll do everything that I'm supposed to do, that you're saying that I'm required to do, if you can prove the following. And so it asks questions that are already fact, but it asks it in a question form, so they have to prove it not as a fact, such as proof of claim that we are not currently, as a nation, in a national emergency. Well, they can't disprove that because there's still 31 national emergencies ongoing. Now, the reason why that question works, because if we're in a national emergency, that means, what does that mean? That means that all banking activity has been suspended. So proof of claim that all normal banking activity has not been suspended, as mentioned in Presidential Proclamation 2039. They cannot answer that question, so those are our averments. There was creditors in commerce. They were the first ones to really make the point of averment popular. Now, here's the point, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people got all these other processes out there, and they're talking about how well they're supposed to work. Just think if they were to add an arbitration clause, and they were to understand what an arbitration does and what arbitration is. Ladies and gentlemen, they talk about shutting down a system. You guys need to understand, nobody's trying to shut down the system, but I guarantee you we'll get some act right. Wait. Y'all don't know what act right is? Man, let me tell y'all something. All I'm trying to do is infuse some act right juice into these okay? Because I'm tired. I ain't sick, but I am tired of them playing games with people in their lives. So the contract was our way of getting and giving them some act right juice. Sorry, I got to do this periodically so that it can catch up to itself. Don't know why YouTube do that. Got to make sure it goes to the next video. Sorry about that, y'all. All right, there we go. Marvin, y'all. Uh-oh, we did this already. Why they keep putting Marvin with my people? I told y'all I don't listen to this song. YouTube knows I don't listen to this song no more. I ain't listened to that song since the first year it came. No, I think I listened to it up until 1988. But I ain't listened to that song no more. But hey, I understand, Gladys. Neither one of us, okay? And I agree with her because I don't want to either. And it is so sad to think that we're not going to make it. So stop thinking that way, everybody, because I promise you, at no other time could such a thing had come about. At no other time. Think about it. This information has been around for over almost 100 years. 1925 is when the Act came out. The very year that the Supreme Court went administrative. That's right, the Supreme Court went administrative. Oh, by the way, we're going to make this little plug real quick about anybody who wants to challenge the status quo, especially of how the Supreme Court does things. The Supreme Court only hears cases that they choose to hear. Okay, that's not what the Constitution said. The Supreme Court is the only federal court that has original jurisdiction. Go ahead and look at the Constitution and you see that no other court has been given original jurisdiction. What about the Article 3 courts? The Supreme Court is the only Article 3 court in the nation. What are you talking about? The Supreme Court is the only Article 3 court in the nation. What are you talking about? Because all of the other courts are under the Administrative Office of the United States Courts under their EIN number. The Supreme Court is the only one who was separate. It's the only one for where the judicial power has been vested. The original jurisdiction. Well, hold on. When the Supreme Court says that you can only go into their court upon application and that they get to say yay or nay, what they have effectively done is violated the First Amendment of the United States Constitution and the Equal Protection of Rights Clause. Why? Because they delegate whom they will or will not hear. They decide what issues they will or will not decide upon. And they do it based on public policy. Well, that's a violation of the Constitution because the Constitution does not take public policy into consideration. It doesn't even take the will of the majority into consideration. I know some people say that it's the majority. The Constitution is not written for the majority. The Constitution is written for the individual. Okay, watch this. It may start off with we the people of the United States, but it says no one may be. No warrant shall issue. That the person, everything is singular after that. Okay? That the accused shall have the right. That there shall not be any excessive bail. Well, you can't have bail for a group. You can only have bail for one person. Okay, so do you understand? It is a singular right that is secured. Well, what about the group? The group's rights are secured as well because an individual has the right to peacefully assemble. Okay? So they talk about the group. That's why it's equal protection of law and due process of law. Okay? Just make sure. That's why you see equal protection and due process in the 14th Amendment. So when they created that amendment, they added due process. But wait a minute. If they added due process, what happened to the 5th Amendment? Nothing. Just different class. But anyway, let's continue to tell you guys about the contract. Now, one person told me I shouldn't be talking about how that there is a way around the contract. There is. But as soon as people figure that out, then I will give you a way around that. That's what I do, people. Well, they say I shouldn't be mentioning that because, you know, they want to be able to, ladies and gentlemen, I can't stop anything from happening because everything that has happened so far, including this information, they already knew was coming out. They have an algorithm. They could literally tell you what year this information was coming out. The algorithm is not a fortune teller. The algorithm works out probabilities. And this was a probability that it would come out the way it has. Okay? Do they have a plan? Of course they have a plan. The only problem is their plan can only be implemented after a certain period of time. That's why they're getting ready to change the system. So before they change the system, get your behinds grandfathered in, get your contract sent out. I know everybody wants to huff and puff and delay and all that stuff. Hey, that's on you. But don't be coming and complaining to nobody 8 months, 10 months, 100 months from now talking, I was meant to do it. You know, but you know how things is. You know, yeah. I didn't do it. Should have done it. Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm gonna shut up now. Okay, because that's exactly what's gonna happen, especially if you come my way. Because I'm gonna tell you to shut up and get out my face. And you already know, most of you who know me, that I won't hesitate to tell you that. Okay? If you don't listen, I'll tell you. And I told you so. You should have listened to me, ignorant mother. That's what I'll tell you. Because I ain't got no problem. We got Marvin singing what's going on in the background. Let's get back to your contracts because that's what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, the first contract we gave everybody was the one with the banks. Now, since that contract has come out, we come up with the equitable redemption document. The equitable redemption document basically gives them their payment because the law requires that if there is a debt, that there must be a payment to balance the books. So it's not a debt, it's a debit, okay? And you can't pay in legal tender. Pay attention, people. You cannot pay in legal tender because legal tender has no value. Pay attention, people, because some of you ain't never got this, and we've been trying to get your attention so that you understand it. You cannot pay in legal tender because the United States Treasury has stated since 2011 on their website, and it's still there to this day, that legal tender has no value. And in order for you to pay off your mortgage, there must be value and consideration. Well, if legal tender has no value, how are you going to pay them? Excuse me? If legal tender has no value, how are you going to pay them? There's no other currency floating out there in society for which you can use to pay off your debts. Ladies and gentlemen, the only thing you have to pay off a debt these days is credit. So we created the our style money order, which is a money order that is based on credit. That was its whole intent from the very beginning. Okay? I'll say it because everybody and their grandfather know. Nobody was doing money orders before this man. And if they were, please, they weren't anything like what we were doing. As a matter of fact, I guarantee you we have balanced the entire world's budget with those money orders, which is why they started with the disintegration of Glass-Steagall, because again, they knew this was coming. That's why they get to hypothecate debt. Okay. By creating that instrument, we create a contract, letting the banks know, hey, we have some questions for you regarding our particular mortgage. We need to know if this is true. We need to know if that's true. If that's true, that's true, that's true, that's true. Is this true? If this is not true, then is this true? We need to know all these questions. Now, look, we have a contract with you, and these are all questions concerning our contract and negotiations and everything that we went through. You need to answer these questions. And the bank says, we ain't answering nothing. You say, that's all right. You got 10 days to answer. If you don't answer, that means you agree to everything in there in favor of me. And the bank say, whatever. Look here, mother, and you'd be like, that's all right. Hold on. Now, if you want to argue anything about this contract, hey, we're going to go to arbitration because that's what we do. We go to arbitration around here because it's a law. And the law says we get to go to arbitration. Since this involves commerce, we ain't got to worry about no little state law that talks about arbitration. No, we go straight federal because commerce makes it federal. Congress gets to regulate commerce, so we go federal. And if we go federal, whoo boy, that's the Federal Arbitration Act. Man, let me tell you something. You ain't respond to me, I send you a notice of default. Man, that's it. That's all she wrote because you ain't got no footing, no standing, or nothing. It's just like me going into court and I default with you. I go to court, I lose. Well, arbitration is a court. It's a private court. Everybody was trying to set up all of these little private organizations, having these private grand juries and all of that. People, you can do the private grand jury. Make it an arbitration. Create the arbitration clause. Create the contract. You guys want to have grand juries. You want to subpoena people. Well, arbitrators have subpoena power. Take the Arbitration Act and incorporate it into your processes. Those of you who are creating these tribunals and governments and all of this stuff, use the Arbitration Act to your advantage. I know people are going to abuse it. I know that, but I don't care because that ain't got nothing to do with me. If people abuse it, then they'll clamp it down even more. Now, again, I'm not trying to shut nothing down. Shut it down! Shut it down! I shut them down! Shut them! I'm sorry, MC Hammer. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not trying to shut nothing down. What I'm trying to say is enough. That's all I'm trying to say is enough. You see, these idiots want to play with me. So you know what you do when people want to play and you don't feel like playing anymore? You take that sledgehammer, okay, and you eat that can of spinach, and you go ahead and you slang that sledgehammer like you sitting up there trying to swat flies. They'll leave you alone eventually. Now look, guys, it wasn't the 3rd of September. In fact, I don't even remember what day it was. The day my daddy died was July 5th, 1983. Sorry, I do remember that day. He died July 5th, the day after the 4th of July, the day after an assembly that I went to at the Dodger Stadium, Assembly of Jehovah's Witnesses. But anyway, Papa was a Rolling Stone. Now, he wasn't the type, because he didn't wear a hat like me, okay? And he didn't have homes all over the place. He wasn't that type of Rolling Stone, but he was a Rolling Stone nonetheless. All right, we created that contract, ladies and gentlemen. We put the coupon in the contract so that you can prove that you tendered payment. Now, they're not going to respond. Even if they did respond, if they answer the questions, they just agree to everything that you're saying. So you still win. Why? Because you're only pointing out the truth. And as long as everybody agrees, there's no controversy, i.e., you still win. When there's a controversy, you automatically go to arbitration. If they default, if they fail to pay as agreed, you go to automatic arbitration. But see, some of you are going to want to get rich. Some of you are going to want to be sitting comfy. Some of you are going to want that penthouse in the sky with a 2-bedroom apartment. You know what I'm saying? Some of you want to move on up to the east side, not knowing that the east side is the worst part of town. Okay? That's what some of you are going to want. And you're going to mess it up for yourself because it's those individuals being greedy. So the way you do the figures is you have to apply it to yourself. And you can't, well, do they have the money? You can't do it whether or not they have the money. It don't work that way. If everybody went after a company for $100,000 and you got 300,000 people going after a company for $100,000, then nobody's going to get nothing. Do y'all hear me? No, they don't hear you. Again, if everybody is putting these exorbitant prices, not only will you cause inflation, but nobody will get anything from it. Why? Because the company won't have the funds to pay out everybody. So nobody will get nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, do you hear me? So that's why you have to be reasonable. So the way to be reasonable is 3 times the value of the property. Well, what if there's something else involved and it's not that type of property? Then you do what's reasonable. In other words, if somebody was bringing a claim against you, what would you agree to pay? Oh no, they owe me more than that. Exactly. See, that's the point. You can't get greedy talking about what they can afford to pay and what you think you deserve. It has to be reasonable, people. So that contract says, hey, if you disagree, just respond to this in writing. Show us proof of your finances because I'm here to take care of that redemption value. And I'm doing an assignment to the United States Treasury. Okay? So they become the owners. Foreclose on those motherfuckers. Oh, and by the way, here's a payment coupon that you can send to them. Do you hear me though? Did you see what I did? See, we say the Treasury, we're doing an assignment to the Treasury. Oh, by the way, here's a payment coupon from them. If you want to receive your deposit it with them, let them know what's going on, and you get your money. That's what we're saying. But we're giving them a coupon, the same as a dollar bill would be. Y'all don't hear me though. Y'all don't hear me, people. If a dollar bill is nothing but a coupon that they are to take to the Treasury, it's a Federal Reserve note that they take to the Treasury or Federal Reserve Bank, and they deposit it for lawful money, credit, okay, can we not issue the same type of payment coupon based on our estate? And they take it to the Treasury, and the Treasury gives them lawful money for it? Of course we can, because the Federal Reserve note is nothing but a private bill. Okay? So we give them an equitable bill. But y'all don't hear me though. This is what we've been doing. Now, some people are going to be hearing the things that I'm talking about right now, and oh God, their mind is going to be, man, wait, he just said that the oh Lord, wait, y'all didn't hear that? He just said that the money orders are nothing but coupons, and they act just like a dollar bill. And when he said the dollar bill is a coupon, and the banks just take it, and they get credit for it, lawful money, man, Lord have mercy. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, I have a ringtone on my. See, y'all hear that? That's that girl. Now y'all may not be able to hear it because y'all listening to that music right there, but that's my girl, Alicia, and she's talking about falling, y'all, cause she just keeps falling. Somebody need to help her up because she gonna end up breaking her face or something. She keep falling like that. All right. But did you see? He talked about the dollar bill being credit and well not being credit. They it's a coupon. They take it to the treasury and the treasury gives the banks credit and then the banks take that credit and then they put it in their accounts and then they lend their own credit to people. Not the credit they get from the treasury, but their own credit because they create their own credit like the treasury. It creates credit. That's what he said. Well, if they can do it, we can do it. So we create our coupon. But we assign the interest, reversionary or whatever interest, to the treasury. And then we have the coupon that they are commanded to take to the treasury. And the treasury is commanded to take that credit and apply it to their account and to credit the same to the grantor's account. Now, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to use the equitable coupon, you have to send a copy to the treasury. You can't just send a copy to the bank. And the one you send to the treasury, you got to label copy. Pay attention. Holla if you hear me. The one you send to the treasury, you got to label it copy. Wait, pay attention. Holla if you hear me. The one you send to the treasury, you got to label copy, and you send the original to the original party that you're going against, the original creditor, the original so-called creditor. You can't have two duplicate items out there for the same amount, ladies and gentlemen. It is illegal. So label it copy. Some of you just was taking the documents and filling it out and sending it out because you didn't take the time to read or do any research. I told all of you, you must do your own homework, your own research. Yes, 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 yes. I know. Everybody's saying I know more than they do and they don't know this stuff. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I told all of you. 126-degree temperature, 18 minutes, clinical death, in a coma for who knows how long. And yet I'm the smartest person I know. Well, that means you don't know a lot of people because you're an idiot, according to my book. And let me explain so that you don't get it, because you won't get it unless I explain this. I don't remember last week. I don't remember yesterday. I do not. I'd have to sit and focus to be able to tell you what happened. I remember conversations, but as far as day to day, don't remember, can't tell you what I did during those days. It's getting worse, not better. I was just explaining to someone today that thinking is a process. And the way I think, I have to try to outthink this person, outthink that person, outthink that person, and outthink that person. And while I'm outthinking all of these people, then I have to outthink those people who they talk to. Hey, she's going on that midnight train, y'all. Now, I don't think she want to go to Georgia no more, 'cause that's the dirty South, you know. So I don't think she wants to go to Georgia no more. But we're going to listen to her and see where she going, y'all. Oh, she going to L.A. Yeah, because LA can be too much on anybody, y'all. All right, then we created the other document, the incarceration document. Now, what's the incarceration document? Why does that work so well? Well, because that's sent to all the major government officials. That's sent to the executive branch, sent to the Attorney General's office, then it's sent to the Supreme Court of the state and the Supreme Court of the United States. And then it's sent to the jail warden officials. Then it's sent to whom else would you send that incarceration document to? The governor of your state. It already has everything it needs. The only thing you need to do is put in the stuff for the yellow areas because everything else is universal for every case. That's what we did. We made our documents universal. So you didn't have to sit up there and try to figure out everything. The only thing you have to do is go over the case law and go over some of the wording. Okay? That's what you have to do. Okay, that's it. And then go back over the videos because we give you all the information. We show you where to go to get the information. We put the documents online. Okay? The reason why that document works so well because if they default, then they agree to each one of those points that they are a corporation, that they don't have any jurisdiction, that you are not a minor, that they did falsely arrest you, that a statute is not law, that all crimes are commercial. They will have agreed to all of this. Now the courts have no more jurisdiction because the parties agree that you should not have been arrested. You should not have been held. You should not have been harassed. And the Supreme Court says, pay attention, as long as the parties, hold on, as long as the parties, matter of fact, hold on, let me make sure we do this because we got to do this. We got to do this. I've been doing this lately, so we're going to do it this way. Yeah, we'll do this one yellow. Uh-oh, that's not what I want. Do y'all hear her? She'd rather live than live without. Now, the reason why we're doing this because y'all need to see it. Nah, we don't want that right there because that's too long. These are the issues that you all need to focus on when you're going over this act. Okay? A court has no issue, no business, no business. Okay? This is the law, people, not because I said it, no, because the Supreme Court said it. Okay? The law requires that they interpret the contract as written. If it has an arbitration clause, the court may not override that arbitration clause or that contract. A court possesses no power to decide an arbitration issue. No power, because the act of Congress took that power away from them. It has been that way since 1925, people. Must interpret the act as written. See, we must interpret the act as written. So let's highlight this one too, so that all of you know. Now, this is from that case that was January 9th, 2019. This is from that case. This is just two simple paragraphs that highlighted everything. 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 Man, everything. All right. Let's continue. It says that conclusion that the court has no power, that the court, it doesn't matter what the court thinks. The court can't think. Not only from the text, from precedent. Why? Because the court has held that, uh-oh, let's get rid of that. I'm sorry, we got to get rid of this one right here. Right here. Get rid of that right there. Oh, don't want that right there. We want that right there. I like the way you do that right there. Right there. Okay. I like the way you do that right there. We just want that right there. Okay. We don't, no color. A court may not rule on the particular merits or potential merits of the underlying claim that is assigned by contract to an arbitrator. Doesn't matter. The court has no jurisdiction. A court has no business. Well, remember, they're there to affect the court's business. The judges are. Well, the court has no business weighing on the merits of the grievance because the agreement is to submit all grievances to the arbitrator. So when they try to bring a claim against you, when they try to charge you with something and there's an arbitration contract in place, they cannot charge you. They must go through arbitration. They cannot work under their stupid statutes. That's what the contract does. Okay? Now, let's talk about the infinite estate contract. My favorite out of all of them. The infinite estate and the incarceration contract announces that the individual has attained the age of majority. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, this is my song. Jeffrey Osborne and LTD. This is the ballad of love. Love ballad, everybody. And I don't know why this man does not get more credit. Because he was very good at what he did. Well, anyway, let's continue. Do you not understand what they did for you, ladies and gentlemen, in 1925? This has been there the whole time. And we missed it. I missed it. You missed it. Everybody missed it. Except for Bradley Christopher Stark. That's right, you heard me. He did it before me. It was because of him that I even looked into it. So yes, I'm going to give Bradley his credit. Why? Because he saw something none of the rest of us saw. But the fact that it came to me the way it came to me, there's no way in the world I ever would have grabbed hold of this had it not been presented the way it was presented. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay? So with the infant estate, it's sent to the Treasury, Secretary of State, the vital statistics, vital records, whoever that recorder is. You can even send it to the hospital if that hospital still exists. But you send it to everybody associated with the infant estate, including the Department of Agriculture. You put all their addresses at the top, send it to them. Now, ladies and gentlemen, hold on, so some of you guys will understand, because everybody's been wondering, well, what if they send us back a letter saying this and saying that? We're not concerned about what they say. We're not concerned about what questions they ask. We don't care. What we care about is them responding to the contract with specificity to each question, separately and severally. Why? Because those are the terms of the contract. The contract is very specific. Specific, not Pacific. Pacific Ocean is a large body of water. Okay? Surrounded by land. That's right, an ocean is a large body of water surrounded by land. You guys didn't know that? I thought a continent was a large body of land surrounded by water. Same thing. Same thing. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what the contracts have done. And when the contracts are done right, and when a person enforces their contract, and if they stand by their contract, and if they point out this information right here, guess what they've done? They have essentially put a stop to the ignorance being brought against them. Now, let me do this. We're going to do one last thing, and then we're going to stop this video because we're at 49 minutes. It will not be an hour, okay? Look at my boys right there. They're singing. You know, I don't think I've ever seen this video. They could see. I don't care what people say. I don't care what they say. LTD, everybody. Look at that. Original instruments and everything. Everything. LTD. Love Ballad. Now we're going to end this video with love and happiness with Mr. Al Green. Ladies and gentlemen, what we want to show y'all is this right here. We got 9. This should become your friend. USC. Sorry, we're going to go to number 9. 9 USC 9. But you want 9 USC. Okay. Award of Arbitrators. Confirmation. Okay. Let's find out exactly what the Act says the court must do with an arbitration award. Because many of you guys ain't going to pay attention unless it's brought to your attention. So now I'm going to bring it to your attention. If the parties in their agreement have agreed that a judgment of a court shall be entered upon the award made by and pursuant to arbitration, and shall specify the court, then at the time within 1 year after the award is made, any party to the arbitration may apply to the court so specified for an order confirming the award, and thereupon the court must grant such an order unless the award is vacated, modified, or corrected as prescribed by Section 1011. If Section 1011 don't apply, they must grant the award. Okay? Y'all need to pay attention. I was tired. I promise y'all I'm tired. I keep trying to tell y'all it's all right there in front of you. I cannot hold your hand. I cannot keep saying this until you understand it. You have to, look, here's where all of you are going wrong. Hey, thank you, Al. He said something was going wrong. Let me tell y'all what's going wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, every single one of you is trying to figure this out with the junk you think you already know. You can't do that. Now, I know the music is a little loud for this video because I can hear it on my computer screen because I'm speaking into a headset. But y'all just going to have to go back and listen to it until you can focus, because that's what the design is. If you can focus on the words and tune out the music, you see how I can keep talking? You know, yeah, I get distracted. I can be, man, that's my song, y'all, but I can stay focused on the conversation. That's what the videos are designed for those people who can learn to control distractions. You can control what distracts you. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going every day from about 4 a.m. to about 11, 1, maybe 2 o'clock sometimes. Every day, 7 days a week. And I promise you, I'm as dog tired today as I've been the whole entire week. But guess what? I'm putting forth all of this effort for you all. I'm not doing none of this for me. Everything I do is for you. Anyway. Everything I do is to help other people, not to help myself. I'm already taken care of. I have a very rich father, and he takes care of me. Okay? There are a lot of people out there who ain't got no daddy. Ain't got nobody to take care of them. So I'm here for them. I'm not here for them singular because the quote-unquote needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one. See, I'm just a little tugboat trying to bring them vessels ashore that have been lost at sea. That's what Innocent told y'all. Y'all need to pay attention to Innocent. That boy got some sense, okay? And ladies and gentlemen, the people who have saw Innocent and Nisi. Sorry, I know a Missy. Anyway, the people who've seen Innocent and Missy. See, I did it again. Okay, Missy is my sister's nickname. Nisi is also the name that some of my brothers and sisters called my sister, but it's also a character of a movie that I wrote called Nisi. And then there's Missy, not Missy Elliott, Mistress. She said y'all can't call her no Missy because only her friends call her Missy and y'all ain't her friend. Okay, but yeah, we got Innocent and Mistress. And they say that those two characters are hilarious. Most companies would not put forth such a character, but if you go and you look at Budweiser and all the commercials these big huge companies put together that have comedic advertisement. That's what SATCOM did. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for allowing me to explain to you the nature of the contracts. Now let me show you how there is no turning back for them, how they can't make it go away because they are contracting with everybody. Their whole system is contracts. Every time they contract with you, you don't have to recontract with them. No, 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 no. Your contract, if you do it right the first time, takes care of all other future contracts. If they say anything, say, oh no, we got a contract. And carry that contract with you. Okay? Even if you just carry the first page, get it notarized, just that first page. Here is evidence and proof of our contract. Okay? And so, no, you don't have any jurisdiction. And if they still want to exercise jurisdiction over you after that, let them know that the law requires that I notify you that you're in violation of the agreement. And everything you do from this point on makes you personally liable. Don't argue with them. Go through the process. Get before the judge, says, sorry, you can't. This is an arbitratable matter. The contract says only arbitration may take place regarding any grievances associated with this contract. This matter is directly associated with the contract, which means it is arbitrable. Sorry, you can't make that determination. The judge is going to want to make that determination. You say, sorry, judge, you cannot make that determination. The contract and the law says no. The Supreme Court also said no. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the point. Hey, y'all, we're going to kick this off. I thought we were going to do the Al Green, but we're going to do the Jacksons, and they're going to be talking about dancing, 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 and telling y'all how to do a dancing machine. Talking about somebody's baby or something, you know. Hey! We just going to play the beginning, then we're going to cut this video on out. But this is just me letting y'all know that the time has come. A change has come. And they cannot stop the train. The soul! No, not that train, but you know, they can't stop it. Now, how did he go from this to what we saw later? Okay, ain't no vitiligo there? Sorry, just kidding. All right, we gonna stop the Jacksons because we gotta move on. But ladies and gentlemen, we're cutting this under a minute because that's the whole point. Take a look at this. I will put this, I'll copy it now, so it'll be underneath the video. I don't know if it'll do the colors, but you'll work on that. Okay, I doubt if it'll do the colors, but you will work on that. But this is so you know that they did everything for you. Those of you who don't really want to work with the arbitration because you don't think you know enough about it, those of you who are a little timid, a little bit afraid to stand on your square, then don't worry about it. Keep letting them do what they do to you. Keep going through that you've been going through. Don't come crying to me because life ain't the way you thought it would be by this time and stage in your life. Don't come crying to me. I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't got no times for it. Ladies and gentlemen, at 59 after or 59 minutes, we're going to tell you all to have a very good day, have a very good night, have a very good time. And hopefully this explains a little bit more about the contracts and why they work, why they should work, and why this is a game changer, how this is the unstoppable train. Because we got the ball rolling. See, we're in their court, but we're playing with our ball now. And our ball is rolling downhill. And we're picking up momentum, and we're also picking up passengers. So now we're about to become huge. Let's see if they can stop us. Good night, everyone.